As we're talking about the budget, you've got an alternative budget for Brexit. How helpful is that, Jacob Rees-Mogg, to the Chancellor?
I think it's great. Let me show you this fabulous red book produced by Patrick Minford, which has all the detailed statistical analysis to show that there will be an enormous Brexit bonus for the government. £135 billion extra from 2020 to 2025,
right.
£40 billion a year thereafter, if we follow the right policies in respect to Brexit.
OK, so your colleagues, your Tory colleagues like Anna Soubry and Dominic Grieve, they've got it all wrong. Would you describe them as mutineers?
No, I wouldn't. I voted against the government on European issues in the past, and I think it would be unfair of me to criticise people who have held pro-European views their whole life for the stance they're currently taking. They are parliamentarians. They are entitled to follow their conscience.
Right.
But what I think is important is the figures out today that show a lower deficit, improving productivity. This is very much in line with what Patrick Minford has been forecasting.
All right, well, our viewers won't necessarily know who Patrick Minford is, important though he is to you, obviously, and that document that you're holding. Do you think, on the basis of what you said, though, Jacob Rees-Mogg, the Treasury is just too pessimistic, as is Philip Hammond?
I think the Treasury has a wrong forecasting model. It uses gravity models that have been shown to fail in the past.
So should he be sacked, do you think?
Should who be sacked?
Philip Hammond. Is he just not the right man for the job at the time of Brexit?
No, the Treasury models predate Philip Hammond. They are long-standing models that have been consistently wrong. They produced a panic forecast before the referendum, saying that just by virtue of a vote to leave, there would be a recession, and unemployment rise by 500,000.
But they're based on the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility.
No, those forecasts weren't, actually. They were Treasury forecasts. And the OBR, hold on, the OBR works on the mandate given to it by the Treasury and the policies that the Treasury proposes it will implement. The OBR is a very honest, reputable body. Robert Choate's an exceptionally able man, but he works within the constraints of the Treasury's guidelines.
Right, should Philip Hammond ignore his own Treasury forecasts?
Yes, of course he should. The Treasury forecasts have been consistently wrong. George Osborne politicised them, Gordon Brown politicised them, and he is now left, Philip Hammond is left with inaccurate forecasts. And we see week in, week out, better figures, often reported, dare I say, by the BBC in spite of Brexit, better figures than all these gloomsters were producing, all these Eeyores.
All right, well, on that note of Eeyores, we'll leave it. Jacob Rees-Mogg, thank you very much for joining us on The Daily Politics.